What is up, YouTube? Today we are doing our first Lego minifigure. So I've seen some other YouTubers do these kinds of projects. Ben Works on YouTube, he's a woodworker, wood turner, and he kind of inspired me to do this. So I've seen a couple of his projects and they're amazing. So went down to my local store, picked up some Lego minifigs, and I, right off the bat, have forgotten how complex Legos have become. I remember these things as a kid. Didn't have a lot of little minifigs when I was a kid, but I was like, how hard could this be? So these little minifigures come in different types of variety. They come in different kinds of styles. So this one is a little drone guy. It took me forever when I initially unpackaged this to figure out what the hell kind of minifig this was. So here I am trying to read the directions, trying to figure out what goes where, and finally figured out, oh, there goes his hat. Finally figured out, hey, this is a drone guy, and there he is. So got him all put together, and then basically I took a leftover tannin, smoothed it out, put it at the bottom of this cup, which will come to bite me in the ass, obviously, a little bit later in the project. So got the resin, using some East Coast resin on this particular project. Really liked that East Coast resin, and I was like, okay, what's the worst that could happen? So we got him in there, got him dipped, and you can see all those fun little bubbles that I'm having to contend with at this point. So once we did that, then we pull him out of the pressure pot, and it completely warped the cup. And at this point, I'm freaking out because there's way too much resin in places where I don't want there to be resin, and I'm somehow going to have to figure out how to navigate all of this stuff. And for some reason, the resin adhered to the plastic cup, so that was a pain in the ass trying to take off. And here I am with a pair of scissors, essentially just trying to cut it off. So had to come get the sander and basically try to get as much of that material off as I possibly could. And that was definitely a process. And boom! This is the coolest thing I've discovered, is that little stick that removes all of this goo off of these sanding pads, so I don't have to replace them every 15 seconds. So that was probably my favorite part of this entire project, was just being able to do that. And this was a lot of fun to do, or at least that OCD part of me. Look at that. Look how cool that is. I could watch that all day. Anyway, that's not important. So basically, we're just trying to get this thing sanded out smooth so I can put it in the chuck and make stick a piece of pine board to it and put a faceplate. And you can see here, definitely did not do this right. Admittingly, this is not professional, but I was like, screw it, we're going to do it anyway, because that's how we do it on this woodworking channel, is we just fly by the seat of our pants. So I knew the faceplate wasn't completely attached, but I figured there were enough contact points to where I was like, you know what, it'll be fine. It'll just work itself out. And oh my God, was I absolutely wrong. But this is the first minifig that I've ever turned, so I decided, this is a learning process. You're going to screw up. So trust me, in this project, there are plenty of screw-ups. If you watch this YouTube channel for long enough periods of time, you realize that I screw up quite a bit. So what I'm doing here is trying to get a tannin on this side so I can reverse it in the chuck, and exactly what I thought happened flew off. So I took the faceplate off and then just got this single point action on the back of it, attached that point, and I was like, okay, let's try to do something here. So here I am trying to make a tannin on the opposite end now, because essentially what I'm needing to do is round this out well enough to where I can put it in the chuck, attach it, and smooth everything out to make everything even. And as I realized a little bit later, I totally went about this the completely wrong way, but doing things wrong is an important part of the learning process. So got that part taken down. I basically got the nice shape that I want, and I'm like, okay, this will work. This is enough of a tannin to where I can attach it in the chuck. So now I got it in the chuck, feeling pretty confident, and now I go back to that opposite end trying to make another tannin to reverse it. And, things are really wobbly at this point. You can't really tell from the video because everything's kind of sped up, but I'm having a lot of wobble on this and really not having a lot of, good effort with it. And then I try to come back on the reverse side to even everything out, and I think everything's going well. And here in about 10 seconds, boom, flies off the lathe in classic Salty Texas style. So even though it flew off the lathe, I had enough of the material to where I could reverse it on the chuck, and then just basically at this point, now I'm starting to smooth everything out. And what I should have done was initially when I had it in there, smooth everything out to a nice cylinder shape before I started shaping anything. And I will definitely remember that in the next project, because I should have shaved everything out, made everything balanced, and I probably wouldn't have had nearly as many problems as I'm going to have here in a little bit. But once we did that, we eventually got everything smoothed down, and everything's now, kind of even. You can tell we're not getting a lot of wobble on this particular side now, and we're just taking that tannin down, and now we're making the final tannin for the project. And now it's nice and smooth, and now I'm just trying to get rid of all this excess material. And I had tried to use this excess material, but I realized, you know what, I probably really didn't need it. So now I'm just basically getting rid of material, and I'm about to take my parting tool and separate everything out and make that nice little dome shape here in just a second. And you can see all those good shavings that I'm getting, basically taking everything off. So once we did that, now I'm just making that nice clear dome shape using the combination of the regular bowl gouge and my round carbide tool. And everything's going really smooth. By this time, I'm feeling pretty confident in what I'm doing. I'm getting a lot of shavings off. Everything's going pretty smooth. But, nothing lasts very long on this channel. So you can see a little bit of chipping there, a little bit, and then you didn't see that there, but a giant piece just flew off of the project there. So here I am having to gouge everything out, make everything nice and smooth again. Got a death grip on the chisel because I'm freaking out that it's going to chip all over again. And everything's not necessarily nice and round up to this point. And I'm basically just trying to make that nice, smooth dome shape, which we eventually get to. And surprisingly, I only chipped the little Lego piece just a little bit. So we did our sanding, went all the way from 320, hit it all the way up with the micro mesh. And overall, project went fairly well. I mean, it was a real pain in the ass to get to the end, but this was definitely a learning experience, and we're definitely going to do better in the near future. I do have another little Lego guy that I dipped during the same project and had a little bit of a problem, but the overall concept is there. So here we are, just polishing it up just a little bit. Resin was real clear, no real bubbles in it, but as you'll see here in a little bit, I discovered that the resin heated up so much and floated that the little guy actually detached in the back, and you can see where the bottom and the top half of the guy separated. But here's the finished project. Overall, you got this nice bullet shape little Lego guy just dipped in resin. And I'm going to do some more intricate projects, and like I said, we're going to get better at this. Nothing ever goes smooth the first time on this channel if you've been watching it for any amount of time, but just like my pine cone project, this one didn't turn out so bad. So hope you guys liked the project. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, peace. Okay, so project is done. Let's take these damn cheap earbuds out. You saw the reveal, but here's this little Lego guy. Had a shit ton of problems with this. Did not go well, flew off the lathe like 2 or 3 times, there was chipping, but this little guy got built, he got made. We are in the form that we want it to be. So, happy with it. Not happy with how we got there, but happy that we were able to salvage something. So, obviously we had problems with resin, but we got it done, baby. We got it done. So we're gonna get better, we're gonna do some more of these eggs, or domes, whatever, globes. They're not globes because it's not round. But anyway, so I hope you liked it. Hope you got something out of it. We'll be doing a lot more minifigs and stuff dipped. Oh, and I just noticed he came off the back. Son of a bitch. Oh well, we're going to get better at this. So check it out in the next video. I'll see you guys in the next project. Don't forget to subscribe. See you guys later. Bye.